You see that box art, that picture on your screen right now? That's a liar. Yeah, it looks really cool, but it's not even remotely representative of this movie. Yeah, you see this shrouded, scantily clad young lady showing off her saucy midriff. Yeah, you're not going to see that in this film. Welcome to Bad Movie Review. And we are, of course, talking about Swamp Women, the 1950s classic from Roger Corman, the master of low-budget cheese. Man, this one's rough. Love me some Roger Corman films. Gotta admit, huge Roger Corman fan because he makes some of the greatest bad movies. And this one is a prize winner. The premise here is that 4 women escape from prison to recover some stolen diamonds that their gang took. Well, one of those women is an undercover policeman, Lieutenant Lee Hamilton. Oh, she's a rough and tumble cop, one of the best in the New Orleans Police Department. And the entire idea is they're letting these people escape prison to recover diamonds. I don't know who approved that, but they shouldn't have their job anymore. That's a terrible, terrible plan. Too much can go wrong. Well, of course it does. So, these 4 saucy ladies, if you can call them that, because it's the 50s and they're not that attractive, and the budget didn't allow for that. These women escape and head out into the bayou, and they all seem very shocked by the gators and birds and water, even though they hid the diamonds there. So that makes no sense to me. But everyone is startled by gators and whatnot. Oh, so of course, somebody has to wrestle a gator. That comes later, after they've kidnapped Bob and his, plantation girlfriend. She's got a really bad southern accent and talks about her daddy and how rich he is. And it's, there's no real character development, so I don't know what the backstory is there. So they capture them. Of course, the girl gets cacked. And then Bob has to wrestle an alligator, which is probably the most hilarious scene in the movie. And the girls start fighting amongst themselves because they're all kind of in love with Bob. But they have a mission to complete. Because, Bob is just so damn handsome. Well, Bob is played by Mike Connors, who you may recognize from Mannix, the 70s show. So yeah, he's a well-known actor. A couple of the others have been in other things that you may or may not have seen. But overall, Mike Connors is the best actor in the entire movie. It's painful to watch. It really is. The acting is so over the top. The dialogue is horrendous. And the plot's kind of stupid, but at least that the core premise is fairly interesting and could make for a good movie. But the movie's only an hour and 6 minutes long, so they have to kind of squeeze everything in together. So all the ladies lusting after Bob's handsomeness really gets tiresome fast, because they're all like, oh, he's so handsome. And it's just, I don't know, it just really didn't do it for me. It's just kind of boring. But the dialogue really kind of makes up for that, because it's so cheesy, it's so over the top, and very dated by today's standards. It's like everybody went to the James Cagney School of Gangsterism. Quote from Josie, the leader of the gang. It says, I miss being told what to do, when they talk about her boyfriend who was executed in the electric chair. Well, there's some feminism at work, right? As far as the technical aspects, the cinematography was okay. The use of stock footage, though, was really kind of annoying. Most of the gators and snake footage was clearly stock footage. Same with the birds, and the opening scenes where they're at Mardi Gras Carnival, Carnival, or however that's pronounced. That was very clearly stock footage, and the version of this I got was on Brentwood Entertainment DVD, and it was pretty poor, but they probably used cheap film at the time, and that doesn't hold up well. And this is probably a pretty decent transfer for what's left. But oh man, the quality was just so horrible. The scene where the snake is gonna attack tied up Bob, because he's the Mister in distress in this one for most of the movie. You could tell the snake was being pulled by a string, and I'm pretty sure I could see the string for a while there. Yeah, so overall, yeah, this was a painful one to watch. Thankfully, it's only an hour. But and you're gonna wonder, when did Bob and Lee fall in love? Lee's the undercover cop, not some redneck dude that came out to save him. Although that would have made a better movie. They apparently just fall in love 3/4 of the way through the movie for some reason, because that's what you do apparently when you've been captured by swamp women in search of diamonds. You just fall in love with the first one that's remotely nice to you. So that seems to be the way things work in a lot of these movies, though. Same problem I had with a lot of movies from that era and some more modern ones. Overall, this one's great if you want to sit down, eat some popcorn with your friends, and make fun of a movie. This is a good cheese movie to really knock out some great jokes. And the movie did really suffer from a lack of nudity, but that's the time period. That really would have spiced it up, although I would have preferred some different ladies for that scenario. Although a hot lesbian scene really would have tied this all together very well. And I really hope they do remake this film, because I think this one actually has a decent enough premise that it could be remade into an okay sci-fi level B movie that could have some TNA and some hot lesbian action, just for diversity's sake, because I'm thinking about the feminism here, not my personal preferences. Nope, none of that going on. So yeah, I hope they do remake it. It would be prime for a remake. It won't be as good because it won't be a Roger Corman film, obviously. And this is no Humanoids from the Deep, that's for sure. But it would make a decent remake. The premise was solid. It needed a little more breathing room, but budgetary constraints clearly hindered that greatly. So yeah, other than that, I would recommend this one if you want to sit down and have a cheese fest where you're making fun of some crappy movies. Put this on the list. It's only an hour and 6 minutes long, and it's got some very silly fight scenes that are hilarious when you watch them. So there's that too. But if you're looking for like a quality thriller or something like that, this is not your movie, not at all. So yeah, if you're a Roger Corman fan, be a completionist and pick this one up. It's hilarious, even though it's not supposed to be. It's a good drive-in fare, so it was probably double billed at some drive-in where teenagers were going to make out anyway. So yeah, get it for the laugh factor and the cheese factor and the Roger Corman awesomeness. Otherwise, it's probably a swing and a miss. That's my recommendation, and this has been your bad movie review. If you liked what I said, obviously give us a thumbs up or like, share, subscribe. That the drill. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.